Winning is rarely loud. It is usually boring. It is usually early. It is usually disciplined. Most people want the spotlight. Very few want the routine. That is why most people stay average. They chase intensity. Winners build consistency. They do small things with unusual seriousness. They repeat them when nobody is clapping. And that is exactly why they keep winning. The truth is simple. Your future is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in ordinary mornings, ordinary afternoons, and ordinary evenings that most people waste. Every day you either train your standards or betray them. Every choice sends your mind a message about who you are. That message becomes identity, and identity becomes behavior. Behavior, repeated long enough, becomes your life. So if you want better results, stop worshiping motivation and start respecting habits. Not random habits. The right habits. The ones that sharpen your focus, protect your energy, and make you dangerous in a distracted world. Here are 10 daily habits of people who always seem to win, even when life gets hard. Number 10 is that they start the day before the day starts them. Most people wake up and instantly surrender their mind. They grab the phone, absorb other people's noise, and begin the day in reaction mode. Winners do the opposite. They create a few quiet minutes where they own their attention before the world makes its demands. That might be planning, reading, stretching, praying, journaling, or simply sitting still long enough to think clearly. The habit is not about looking perfect. It is about telling your brain from the first minutes that you are in command. A rushed morning creates a rushed mind. A deliberate morning creates direction. If you lose the first battle of the day, every later decision becomes harder. But when you begin with intention, you build momentum before pressure even arrives. Number 9 is that they keep promises to themselves. This is where real confidence comes from. Not from compliments. Not from posting quotes. From evidence. When you say you will wake up at 6, train at 7, or finish the task tonight, your mind is watching. Every time you follow through, you strengthen self-trust. Every time you excuse yourself, you weaken your identity. People who always win are not perfect. They simply understand that self-respect is built through kept agreements. That is why they make smaller promises than their ego wants, then honor them consistently. One completed workout beats 10 imagined transformations. One finished page beats 100 speeches about writing a book. You do not rise by declaring who you are. You rise by proving it to yourself again and again. Number 8 is that they train their body even when the goal is mental. A weak routine creates a weak state. Your body affects your discipline more than your emotions want to admit. Movement teaches you to act before you feel ready. It teaches discomfort without panic. It teaches repetition without applause. That is why exercise is bigger than appearance. It is daily practice and effort, recovery, patience, and control. The person who can push through one more set often finds it easier to push through one more difficult conversation. The person who can stay with physical discomfort often handles emotional pressure with more steadiness. You do not need to become obsessed. But you do need a body that supports your ambition instead of constantly negotiating against it. Number 7 is that they protect their focus like it is money. Because it is. A distracted hour can cost more than a missed opportunity. It can cost your edge. Winners know that attention is one of the rarest assets in modern life. So they do not casually hand it away. They limit pointless notifications. They reduce clutter. They create blocks of uninterrupted work where their best thinking can actually happen. While others keep switching tabs, switching tasks, and switching moods, winners stay with the problem long enough to solve it. Focus is not just concentration. It is respect. It means you respect your goals enough to stop entertaining everything that does not serve them. That is why focused people often seem calm. They are not doing less because they lack ambition. They are doing less because they have standards. Number 6 is that they choose hard things on purpose. Most people spend all day trying to avoid friction. Winners use friction as training. They make the call they have been postponing. They open the project they feel intimidated by. They have the honest conversation. They say no when pleasing people would be easier. They say yes to discipline when comfort would feel nicer. This matters because every avoided difficulty collects interest. The task gets heavier. The fear gets louder. The delay becomes identity. But every faced difficulty does the opposite. It makes you sturdier. It proves that discomfort is survivable. Over time, this creates a huge gap between two people with similar talent. One keeps protecting comfort. The other keeps expanding capacity. Guess which one keeps winning? Number 5 is that they review their day honestly, not emotionally. Honestly, average people either judge themselves too harshly or avoid reflection completely. Winners study themselves like a coach studies game film. They ask simple questions. What worked today? What drained me? Where did I hesitate? What needs to change tomorrow? That habit keeps small mistakes from becoming permanent patterns. It also keeps success from becoming accidental. When something goes well, winners do not just celebrate it. They identify the cause so they can repeat it. And when something goes badly, they do not build a drama around it. They build an adjustment. This is how progress speeds up. Not by being emotional about every result, but by learning from every result. Number 4 is that they control what enters their mind. You cannot think like a winner while feeding your mind like a victim. What you watch, read, listen to, and repeat internally shapes your decisions more than you realize. Winners are selective. They do not spend every day consuming outrage, comparison, gossip, and digital junk, then wonder why their mind feels heavy. They feed on things that build clarity, perspective, and courage. That does not mean fake positivity. It means conscious input. They know one toxic conversation can stain an hour. One useless scroll can fracture momentum. One repeated excuse can become a private belief. So they guard the gate. They replace mental junk food with better questions, better information, and better internal language. Because eventually, your life starts sounding like whatever your mind hears most often. Number 3 is that they finish what matters. This habit is rare. Many people start strong. Few people close strong. There is a kind of power that comes from completion. Finished work builds reputation. Finished reps build strength. Finished conversations build trust. Finished plans become results. Winners know that unfinished effort can feel productive while producing very little. So they train themselves to land the plane. They do not just brainstorm. They execute. They do not just prepare endlessly. They submit. They ship. They finalize. That habit alone can separate you from people with better ideas but weaker follow-through. The world remembers what gets completed, not what almost happened. Number 2 is that they act without needing applause. This is one of the purest signs of maturity. When your behavior depends on recognition, you become fragile. You slow down when nobody notices. You doubt yourself when nobody approves. You perform instead of building. Winners free themselves from that trap. They still appreciate support, but they do not depend on it. They can work in silence. They can improve in private. They can stay loyal to the process before results become visible. That is powerful because most people quit in the invisible season. They stop when effort is not yet impressive. They stop when growth is still boring. They stop when the room is quiet. But here's what winners do differently. They understand that roots grow in the dark. And if you can stay committed when nobody is impressed, you become unstoppable when results finally show up. Number 1 is that they return the next day. This is the habit beneath every other habit. They return after success. They return after failure. They return after a bad mood, a setback, an argument, a mistake, a delay, or a disappointing week. They do not make every interruption mean the mission is over. They restart faster than everyone else. That is a superpower. Because life will break your rhythm sometimes. You will get tired. You will doubt yourself. You will miss a day. You will have seasons where your energy is lower and your confidence is shaky. The difference is not that winners avoid those moments. The difference is that they do not build a new identity around them. They do not say, "This ruined me." They say, "I am back." And then they act like it. That is why they keep moving while others stay stuck in shame, excuses, and overthinking. They respect momentum, but they do not worship perfection. They know one bad day proves nothing. But one strong return can change everything. People think winners are powered by rare bursts of inspiration. They are usually powered by ordinary standards repeated so often they start looking extraordinary. They choose the useful action when the exciting action would earn more attention. They value consistency over drama, process over mood, and discipline over self-pity. That is why their progress can look slow up close and unstoppable from a distance. One day rarely changes your life. But 1 year of clean daily habits can quietly change your income, health, confidence, and character. Small disciplines stack into bigger options. And bigger options create a life that looks like freedom from the outside and responsibility from within. They become the person who can be trusted with pressure because pressure meets preparation, not panic. They become calmer because they are less surprised by effort. They become sharper because they stop negotiating with the basics. And once the basics are automatic, ambition has room to grow. This is not glamorous. It is just effective. And effective, repeated daily, becomes extraordinary. So here is the shift. Stop asking which habit sounds the most inspiring. Ask which habit you are willing to live today. Not next Monday. Not next month. Today? Pick one and make it real before this day ends. Wake up with intention. Keep one promise. Train your body. Protect 1 hour of focus. Do one hard thing first. Review your day tonight. Feed your mind better input. Finish one important task. Work without announcing it. And if you fall, return tomorrow with less drama and more discipline. Because winning people are not made by magic. They are made by habits that look small to lazy minds and massive to serious ones. Day by day, choice by choice, they build a self nobody can easily shake. You do not need a new personality. You need new proof. You need daily actions that make your mind trust your ambition. Do that long enough, and people will call you lucky. But you will know the truth. You did not win because life got easier. You won because you became harder to stop.